Hey, how's it going, everybody? We're back again today with another full self-driving video. Today is, I believe, Wednesday, April the 3rd, and we're going to be taking our usual route to Yorktown Beach. Last video I recorded was a zero intervention drive from this parking lot all the way to the parking spot there. So we're going to see how the car does today. The previous video was on version 12.3.2.1, but I have gotten an update since then, and today we're going to be running version 12.3.3, which is much easier to say. Today I expect there to be a little bit more traffic than the last couple of videos. The previous videos that I put up have been during weekends. I think they've all three been on Sundays. So it really hasn't been a whole lot of traffic, nobody behind us pushing us to go faster or anything like that. Today's weather is also a little bit overcast, and there's a chance it's going to start raining. So I'm going to go ahead and get the video kicked off, and we'll talk as usual as we go and see how the car does. Let me go ahead and make sure I got my navigation correct. As usual, I'm going to try to do better with the navigation than I usually do. I tend to always forget to delete pins, and then the car starts trying to pull into a parking lot or whatever. So we're going to see how it does today. Getting ready to pull out of this parking lot. We've got traffic coming from both directions. The car definitely needs to wait. It looks like here in about 10 seconds we should be clear. Alright, two more cars are getting ready to pass, and then we should be clear to go. Very interesting. We're pulling out. You can see that light was yellow. Alright, we're kind of going in the wrong direction, but we got over. Very interesting scenario there with that light turning yellow as we were pulling out, but the car did a good job and really got on it to speed up and get through the intersection. So I'd say we're off to a good start today. So some things we're going to be focusing on. I've driven around a little bit already with version 12.3.3, but I haven't taken any of my usual routes to really get a good comparison. But what I've noticed so far, and this hopefully will show me the opposite, is that the speed control issue is still much better than in version 12.3, but it seems like it's regressed a little bit from 12.3.2.1, which of all my full self-driving versions that I've had, that's by far been the best one that I've had yet. So I'm hoping that going on one of our usual routes will give us a good indication of whether or not I'm correct about that regression or not. Alright, so we are slowing down way too much right now. We really need to go. The car is kind of confused on what it's doing. So right now we should be going 40 and we're going 28. I think some of this construction going on right here, the cones off to the side of the road are throwing it off a little bit. But we definitely need to be going faster than this. Alright, we're starting to speed up now. And we're slowing back down. I think if somebody got behind us right now, the car would do a good job of speeding back up. I've noticed it's clearly more comfortable with people around it, at least behind the car. It will definitely speed up and go a more appropriate speed. So the van that was on our left just then has pulled out behind us, but they just pulled into a parking lot, so never mind. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this next navigation pin so I don't screw up already. So I think one issue that could have come up back there when we were going kind of slow and the car wasn't sure whether or not to turn left or go straight. There's definitely a lot of construction signs leading up to that area, and I'm almost wondering if it thought that maybe that road was closed and it was getting ready to turn left. I'm not really sure. Usually it does pretty good through the construction zones there, but being that everybody in front of us was turning left, maybe it was trying to follow their lead, with it having some indication that maybe there was some construction ahead. But overall, definitely a little bit too slow through that area. So other than my comment that the speed control might be a little bit, a tad bit worse, I'm not saying bad by any means, but a tad bit worse than the previous build, I really haven't noticed a whole lot else different with 12.3.3. Obviously one of the biggest changes is in the name. It's no longer referred to as full self-driving beta, but now it's referred to as full self-driving supervised. So I've been trying to determine whether or not there was any actual change to the driving itself, or if the change was mainly just in the name. I've also noticed too, after this software update, that usually to the right of these 3 dots you'll have like some quick access icons for things that you most recently visited. Those are no longer showing up anymore. So the ones to the left of those 3 dots, you actually set those and they're like your quick access. They always stay in the same place, but usually whichever ones you clicked on most recently will show up to the right of those 3 dots. But like I said, I really haven't it's pretty much been gone since this software update came through. I'd be interested to know if anybody else is having that issue. So far through here we're doing really good. Car did a good job slowing down for everybody in front of us. It's also doing a good job speeding back up when they start moving again. That's definitely something I've noticed with version 12 as a whole, is if somebody slows down like 100 feet in front of you and then speeds back up, sometimes the car itself gets kind of stuck at that lower speed for a little while. As I said before, it definitely helps if there's somebody behind you getting close to you. The car pretty much always speeds up when that's the case. Don't know how well you can see. There are some people behind me. This rear view camera always makes it look like the people behind you are really far away. And they're definitely not riding my bumper by any means, but they look a lot closer in the mirror than they do in the camera. Alright, so we're just sitting here right now. Alright, so I did intervene there to get the car to go. We were just kind of sitting. My very first drive on this update on 12.3.3, it came through pretty late in the night. It was actually unusual. Usually this doesn't work for me, but going into the software tab and manually checking for the update actually worked this time, and the update got sent through to me. But it was pretty late at night. It was around like 10 p.m. So I went ahead and went out for a quick test drive, see a little bit of hesitation there. Like right now the car can go, but we're just kind of sitting. Alright, we're starting to creep forward. Just going way, way too slow right now. I don't know why we're creeping so slow. I've also noticed at times it is very hesitant to pass cars in lanes next to you. But anyway, so the software update came through at around 10 p.m. and it was raining that night. But I just wanted to go out for a quick cruise and see if there was anything drastically noticeable. And I think the car definitely needs more. Whoa, what do we got going on here? That was interesting. I think the car definitely needs more. Here I go with the navigation pins again. Try to fix this real quick so we pull back out. All right, I did have to disengage. That was my fault. There was somebody behind us. Got to pay more attention. I'm not going to count that disengagement against the car. That was totally my fault. So I went out cruising late at night. It was raining. I think the car definitely needs more training, both at night and in the rain, but the combination of the two, it wasn't a very good drive. The car actually, it wasn't even a big puddle. It was a medium-sized puddle in the middle of the lane, and the car completely came to a complete stop in the middle of the road, or in the middle of my lane, and just sat there. And I gave it 20 or 30 seconds to see if the car would move, but it was just totally stuck. It didn't do that again, but it seems like at night and in the rain, the car just drives really slow. It was kind of like my speed control was on version 12.3. And I guess to some degree I expect the car to drive a little bit slower at nighttime and a little bit slower in the rain, but it was pretty excessively slow. Right now we're doing a good speed. We're doing 45. The speed limit's 40. Feels pretty good through here. So I'm wondering now, when I was in that right turn lane and it was creeping so slow, I'm wondering if that's because we were coming right up on the destination and it was looking for a place to park. One thing with version 12, when you get within a quarter mile of your destination, the car slows down a lot, and I think what it's doing is looking for a good place to pull in and park. I'd be interested to go back and test that scenario again. It was a little bit unique where we had people going straight that were kind of blocking the access to the turn lane, and it started to kind of come over, and then once it got over into the turn lane, it was just way too hesitant to go forward. So we are clear right now to go if we want, but now we need to wait. So we should be waiting here for a second. There is quite a bit of traffic coming from our left. We do have a car coming up behind us right now. We do have a little opening right now. We could go if the car really commits, and it's gonna go. Nicely committed to. Pulled out and went. So I wanna make sure I'm paying attention for our next navigation pin. One of these days I'm gonna make it through a whole video without messing that up. So I'm gonna be ready to erase this one. I've got to do a better job too when I set my pins of not setting them directly after a turn, because I think it does affect how quickly it goes through the turn. I think really it does start slowing down early, looking for a place to pull over and park at. Going a good speed through here. I do prefer to go 50 or below through here. The speed limit is 45, but sometimes police do run radar through here, so I want to make sure I'm always going a good speed. Going a little bit fast through here right now. The speed limit's 25. We're going 34. It feels like a good speed to go because it does feel like the speed limit on this road. This is Showalter Road. The speed limit does feel like it should be 35. I think most people go 35 through here. We've slowed down a little bit to 32 and feels like we're slowing down some more. I think 30 is a good speed through here. got a guy up here on the left walking his dog. No oncoming traffic. Would definitely be an interesting scenario. Did good passing by him. All right, here we go. We're slowing down way too much here. This intersection seems to trip it up. Not really sure why. Like, we're creeping at 13 miles per hour right now. I'm not going to intervene, but if there was anybody behind me, I definitely would. Like, we need to speed up. That's been a problem in previous videos coming through here too. It seems like if there's any kind of a car that we interact with through that intersection, version 12 gets very confused about what to do there. So we're coming up on a right-hand turn onto Lakeside Drive. Like I say, every time the speed limit on Lakeside Drive is 45, people usually drive 50 or above. So we'll see if there's any traffic coming, how the car does pulling out onto this road. Alright, I can already see everything's... Well, no, we do have a car coming. We're clear after this car. And now we've got a truck coming up behind us. But we did a good job getting right up to speed. Alright, we're slowing back down now. Still going the speed limit though. Car did a good job not overreacting to any of that. Didn't hit the brakes hard for the person turning left in front of us. I felt very good. I know version 11 would have hit the brakes pretty hard there and wouldn't have been a very comfortable interaction. So I'm going to get ready to delete our next navigation pin. Close to the middle of the road here. It seems to do this every time through this turn. Kind of dips the wheels over onto the yellow lines, but then it does come over and correct itself. So we're coming up to an intersection up here. We're going to be making a left. There's a car coming ahead of us. I know what's going to happen here is we're going to creep up pretty slowly to the stop sign. So, okay, we can have some good interaction here. So we should stop and we should be able to go. Awesome. Coming up here in a second, I'll delete the next navigation pin so I don't screw that up. So far, doing pretty good. A couple of weird hesitations as we went. First one was going up Victory Boulevard when all the traffic in front of us started to move and the car just kind of sat there. So I did intervene there. The car was definitely hesitant turning right after that. When all that traffic was kind of blocking the turn lane, we finally got over, but then the car kind of creeped up that turn lane. And then I forgot to delete a navigation pin, so it started to turn left into a parking lot. I did disengage there just to get us back onto the route that we're supposed to be on. Yeah, a couple of weird little hesitations. Oh yeah, and then back there at that intersection on Showalter Road. That'll definitely be an interesting intersection to see how the car progresses, see if it gets better with new versions through there. But that was very, very slow when there wasn't a stop sign or any need for us to slow down at all. But other than those hesitations, the car is doing very good. All the weird things that it's done has been very comfortable, or have been very comfortable. Overall, the ride has felt good. Alright, go ahead and delete this navigation pin. I think we're slowing down a little bit for that, and we should start to speed up. We got a little bit of traffic to our left before we can turn. And after this gray SUV, we should be able to go. Doing good so far on this road. Sometimes it has a tendency to drive a little bit slow through here, but it seems like with the lead car it's doing a little bit better. Now they're starting to drive away from us now, and we're kind of sitting at 41 miles per hour, but the speed limit is 50. And coming up here in just a bit, we should have some railroad tracks. The car hadn't been going a bad speed over them. I would like to see it slow down a little bit more, but we'll see what it does on this version. I have not been over any railroad tracks yet. Didn't slow down anymore. That doesn't feel bad. Those tracks are a lot smoother than they used to be, but still a little bit quicker than I would drive over them. All right, a little bit hesitant here. We're clear in both directions. Slowing down quite a bit there. I don't know if I thought that was a speed bump in the road, but pretty unnecessary. We are starting to get some sprinkles now. I don't know if that's affecting anything or not. It hasn't made the windshield wipers go yet, but I would expect the rain to pick up here in a little bit. We're about 2 miles from our destination. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this next navigation pin. So we could be going a little bit quicker through here too. This doesn't feel bad with nobody being behind me, but we should probably be going about 40 miles per hour through here. We're doing 33 right now. I have a feeling once it opens up a little bit, it'll probably speed up. Doing 44 right now. That is a cop up in front of us. Speed limit through here is 35. So definitely going a little bit too quick through here now. Now it does feel comfortable though. I think it would be okay if the speed limit through here was 45, but definitely a little bit fast for what the speed limit actually is. Alright, we are all clear to turn right now. A little bit hesitant. So I don't think I've really talked about the car in the last couple of videos, about what the car is. This is a 2023 Model 3 rear-wheel drive. So there's no ultrasonic sensors, no radar, nothing. We're operating strictly off vision here. I did get auto park in the last couple updates. The auto park seems to be very good so far. I definitely need to do a video or put some video clips in of that at some point soon so you can see how it works. Other than being a little bit slow, it's definitely usable. If you're somebody who doesn't like to back into a parking spot, it's definitely usable for you. And once they speed up the parking maneuvers a little bit more, it'll definitely be usable. Does a good job parallel parking, especially between two cars. See, overall, the auto park's been pretty good, and these last two updates have been pretty good too. Definitely got some opinions on 12.3.3 versus the previous build that I'll talk about once we get to our destination. But overall, pretty good. We probably got about a mile and a half to go until we pull over into our parking spot, and we'll talk about my overall thoughts on the drive at that point. Got my navigation pin set correctly. Yep, we screwed this turn up a couple of times. So once we make this right, I'm going to be ready to delete the next navigation pin, and then we will be on to our final destination. So we'll come to a full stop here, and we should be clear to go here in a sec. Got a truck coming up here on our right. I think once they go past us, we should be clear. Nope, got another car coming. Now we got some cars turning right. We could really go right now. We're probably making the guy behind us a little bit upset. That's okay. All right, there we go. Slow here, but good overall. All right, we're kind of headed towards that car there, so I did disengage. So I'd call that the first real disengagement of the drive. That turn back there definitely has had, if you watch my first video, there were some issues with that turn. I'm not sure what the car was going to do there, but it did feel like it was headed towards that other car. I'm not sure if it was going to end up making a right or go around them or what. So definitely wanted to disengage there. So our destination should be up here in about a 1/10 of a mile. We're slowing down a little bit right now. We really need to keep on going. We got a little ways to go. Going very slow right now. I'm not sure if it's looking for a place to park or what. Do have a car coming up behind us. I think they're gonna go around us. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little pedal tap. And we should pull over to the right here. Awesome. Alright, so let's talk about overall thoughts on that drive. Overall, compared to version 11, still obviously a huge improvement. Version 11, I would have had to have disengaged multiple times through that drive, multiple more times than what I did. I would guess on a normal day on version 11, I would have probably disengaged 5 times for that drive, if not more. So we did have 2 disengagements in this video. One of them was really my fault for not deleting a navigation pin, but the second one that just happened a moment ago, like I said, I don't know what the car was going to do, but it definitely seemed like it was headed towards, that other car. So I had a disengagement, had a couple of pedal interventions where the car was just being overly hesitant and didn't want to go. So we got that sorted out. We got through those. I would say, like I said in the beginning, the overall speed control for this particular build is a tad bit worse than it was in the previous build. I had a lot of good luck with the previous build. The car felt great. It still had its issues with speed control, but I would say for me it had been about 95% resolved, as where I feel like here we took another step backwards. Driving too slow in some areas, too fast in other areas, and it's also started doing this thing now where it kind of did this in previous builds too, but not as bad as it's doing on this one, where it speeds up quite a bit. It gets 5-6 miles an hour over the speed limit, and then it like lets off the pedal and slows back down to a little bit below the speed limit and then comes back up, which feels a little bit weird, especially when you pulled out in front of somebody and it does that. But overall, pretty good. Like I said, not quite as good as the previous build, which actually got me my first 0 intervention drive through this route. Had a couple of unnecessary times where it was hesitant during this drive, but still definitely a big plus overall from version 11. I have a feeling that this build is being used for a lot of the free trials going out to everybody with Teslas right now, so maybe they've tried to build a little bit more hesitation and just make the build overall more careful because of how many people are going to be trying it out. So I'm interested to see what the next version is that's going to come out. Really haven't seen much activity online talking about whether or not there's going to be another 12.3 branch build, or if we're going to move on to version 12.4. But anyway, if I get another update, I'll film another video along this route, and I'll probably go out this weekend and do some filming just through some random areas and see how the car does. Last video we went out to Williamsburg, or video before last we went out to Williamsburg and just did some cruising through there, and the car did awesome. But anyway, that's all for today, and I will see you all in the next video.